Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 29 of the podcast Pigeons. You got your favorite pigeons here, as per usual, Josh and Bobby. And, it's been a couple of weeks. We've been a little slacking. Blame that on me. I'm hardly ever home. And now we're just going to get this damn thing rolling. So, a couple big things, within the last couple of weeks, really, because it's been 2 weeks. But, focus on, this week. Tom Wilson's suspension has been upheld after his little arbitration or whatever, appeal, actually, is the correct word, with Commissioner Bettman. He said, suck it, you're suspended for 20 games.
Which is good because how many times has Wilson kind of tested those waters a few times before, and he's gotten really close to being suspended. I think in the playoffs he got 1 game or 2 games.
Which I think was borderline.
And that was, again, a borderline play. And he tends to use that excuse, it seems like, oh, he had his head down. It's at this point, I think the league suspended him basically on the fact of you're just out there looking for guys with their heads down. That's simple as that. You're clearly using it as an excuse just to do it. And I think that's why they held it, and I like it. And good, because fuck him, he just got that contract, and now he loses a hefty amount.
At least he loses a hefty amount for this year.
It's front-loaded. Almost the whole thing was front-loaded.
Yeah, it's right here. It says since he's been suspended, he'll forfeit basically $1.26 million. He got a $30 million deal? I don't think he'll probably be a little peeved, and you'll probably see a press release from him if it's not already out there, just on a couple words, because I guarantee he'll say 3 minutes worth of stuff, and it'll be like, oh, well, that's the way it goes, blah, 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 blah. No, it's deserved. When I first saw the hit, it was, I was on the fence because it was one of those weird things. First off, the camera angle sucked. Because it was preseason, they don't really give a shit about any of that stuff, which that in itself pisses me off, but that's a whole different topic. He came from across the ice, came across him, and it was one of those things where majority, yes, obviously, contact was hitting the head, fucked Sundqvist's face up, needed stitches and everything, which kind of surprised me. You don't see that too much. With hits like that, but it's deserved.
But do you also think this changes the kind of player he is?
No, absolutely not. I don't think so at all. I think he might think twice, but he's still going to be the guy. He's a 6'4", 6'3", 220-pound power forward, 230-pound power forward. He is a house of a person, and he's not slow either. He's really fast. He's not Kreider fast, but he's pretty damn fast.
He's not the worst player, so I don't know why he just doesn't fucking play.
Obviously, it's why he got that fucking $30 million bag based on his play last year. He had, 40 points or some shit like that. But I don't think he'll change all too much. I know we'll end up hearing his name again come the 40-game, 50-game mark of the season. That's just how it goes. I hope, because he is a better player than people give him credit for. Everybody obviously says he's scum and doesn't deserve to play. There's been worse players in the league.
Zach Ronaldo had a nice goal the other night. Did you see that?
That actually was super impressive.
Super impressive goal. So, a player guys are adjusting. They're trying to play a little more as opposed to throwing dirty hits, it seems.
And especially now, it's not
it is just one goal, but...
Well, yeah. But it was a highlight reel goal. It wasn't just he banged home a rebound that was sitting in the slot.
Yeah, Ryan Reeves has more goals than Max Pacioretty this year, so that's great.
Yeah, there's that. But as I was saying, the players are realizing, and especially with all the suspensions through the Shanahan days and now into the George Peros era, it's not a run and gun league anymore. You can't just go around killing people. That's slightly too late. It's been transitioning like that, obviously, over the last 10 years. Is you going back and watch a game from 05, 06, you're like, what the hell am I watching? Is this from the 70s? No, it's there's no hooking other than like the occasional hooking penalty. Like you're not grabbing on people and just mauling each other as much as players.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pacioretty and Reeves each have 2 goals and 2 points.
Oh, I saw he got his first last night. I
Yeah.
didn't know he got a second as well.
Yeah, he got a second. That's why I probably kind of assumed he had more because Pacioretty has been dead silent.
But it's kind of funny you bring up the Knights because it was the second thing that I saw on. I mean, we're looking at NHL.com, but I saw it. I think yesterday it got announced, or it was over the night, and I saw it this morning. I can't remember. Nate Schmidt got re-signed to a 6-year deal, and I don't think this is all that bad.
No, he's a solid defenseman, and he's a good producer.
And
for
he's
them
not
as well.
overpaid
No,
at
he's
all.
not overpaid at all. Today's NHL, some guys like him probably asking for like $7 million just to see if they'll get it because they think, oh, look at the league, it's all going up. But that's a solid deal for them, solid defenseman.
And this
They are signing a lot of guys to decent years, so I
And
really
not
think they want to
overpaying
keep
them.
that core together.
Yeah. What did I think? Even William Karlsson didn't get too much money. He got what, like 5.5, something like that.
Do not know the exact numbers.
I'll double check. But I feel like they want to. Well, they know what they can do. And because obviously I saw it last year, and they want to keep it together. Basically, I want to say to see if they're able to do it again. As of right now, it's not looking so hot.
No,
But you never know.
I don't think
mean,
they will. But one other thing that brings me up too, as well, is that them in general, dude, you've seen it when Fleury gets going, that team gets going. So I think he's the key factor to all that.
Yeah. I don't think they'll have, especially if he goes down again, I don't think they'll have that luck that they did last year with that rotating carousel of 3 or 4 goalies and still winning games. I definitely don't think that that's going to be it.
Yeah, and I mean, back to the other guys, because we got a little off topic. Suspension for Mark Borowiecki.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce
I
his
think
last
that's
name
how
either.
it's always said. I try my best. But did you see that? It was a nice, solid...
Elbow to the jibs.
it was a nice shot.
All I did was hear about it.
I looked it up when I obviously saw all over Twitter, and then NHL I think actually sent me a notification, so I looked at it, and my God, I mean that dude's a constant hitter and everything, but I don't necessarily think it was totally intentional. I don't know.
A lot of people are having issues with it because he got 1 game compared to the Matheson body slam on Elias Pettersson, who is skating, by the way, and non-contact. Which is actually really impressive because after he got up from that slam, he didn't know where he was.
Yeah, and he's
There's
a
no
little
way.
guy.
But Matheson got 2 games, and obviously
Borowiecki,
it was a play out of anger, and he got hurt, which they say they don't take
Again,
into
I don't
consideration,
think
but they
he
really
necessarily. I mean, it does look intentional a little bit, but it doesn't look like he was trying to actually just absolutely knock the guy out with it. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try and bring it up because I haven't seen it yet. No, not Eugene Melnick, stupid computer. Do you know who he hit?
Somebody on Montreal.
Was it on Montreal? I thought they played the Bruins.
Thought it was in Montreal. I don't know,
Suspension.
dude. I can't remember. I've been watching so much stuff lately. It is the
Suspended
Bruins.
1 game
It
for
is the Bruins.
elbowing. Here it is. It was elbowing Urho Vakanainen of the Bruins.
That's probably why neither of us knew, and I didn't even know the team.
From what I heard, I mean,
Oh,
on
that's
my
right.
way,
Montreal was playing fucking Calgary that night.
I was listening to the Spit and Chicklets beforehand, just kind of driving home from work. I had the long drive today, and I was just listening to it. And from what they said, and obviously they might be a little bit homey, especially RA, but he owns up to it. It looked very intentional and.
All right,
Where's
so
it
just
at?
watch. Here's what I'm saying. Okay, it doesn't. Yeah, it's not my thing is it doesn't look like
That
he's
happened
trying to
fast.
give him the straight elbow.
See, I thought it was a play up against the boards. I didn't know it was
No.
a scrap in front of the net.
I think he was, in a sense. I think again, this is why the game won.
Okay.
It's not like he intentionally lifted his elbow and bopped him in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
It
So
looks
I
like
see
he's
it.
trying to stick out the forearm at the same time to just shove the guy coming in.
Exactly.
That is why I said it doesn't look like it was 100%. Like, again, it's an intentional move, but I
Yeah.
don't think that's what he meant to do. I don't think he meant to hit him that hard,
Well,
with an
no.
elbow.
I don't think he meant to hit him in the face.
Either way, I don't think he meant to hit him the
Definitely
way it went
meant to,
down. And
like,
that's
hit him
why I
hard
think the
enough to get
NHL
him out.
looked at it, and I think gave him one game.
Yeah. There was. Yeah. Now that I have seen it, definitely one game. That's one of those things. It's like you got to be in control of your body, type deal. Like I understand that the kid's coming in quick, you're protecting your goalie to clear him out, but you gotta have some sort of better situational awareness. And there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh shit! Brian Boyle's cancer is in remission.
Yeah,
That is awesome. I'm a big Boyle fan, even though he's on the Devils. Loved him when he was on the Rangers. Enjoyed watching him when he was on Tampa and Toronto as well. That's huge. Congrats to him. I guarantee he'll probably not ever hear this. But other than that, speaking about the Devils, really, how do you think they're going to continue playing? Because right now they look really good.
Well, the Flyers beat him, so the roll.
I know. No. Hold on, let me finish. So they look really good. They were what, 4?
They were 4 games
1?
in when they had played 4 games by the time they played the Flyers, and they had allowed the least amount of goals in the NHL, which was 9 goals. They allowed 9 goals in 4 games. Flyers put up a 5-ski. 2 were empty netters, but either way, win's a win. I'll take the goals. My big thing for them is I don't know how long Kincaid can stay consistent in that. But they do look good, and they're a solid, very two-way team. But guys like Marcus Johansson can't knock the guy. I mean, the dude had his problem last year with concussions and injuries, and he's been looking really good to start the year. Taylor Hall,
I've always liked Johansson.
I think Taylor Hall's got what?
All of the points?
No, I think he's got 1 or 2 goals.
I'm looking it up.
Last time I checked,
Palmieri's
one goal.
Shit up.
He's got 1 goal, but he's got 7 assists.
Severson's the third
But
most point getter.
Paul Mary's been their guy. I mean, that's kind of like what we saw ever since they got him. The dude's been putting pucks in that.
Yeah, he was never a bad player to begin with. And,
No.
I think
And
they get him in free agency or a
And I'll
trade.
sit next to my cousin at the game too, and he's the same thing. Like ever since he's come to the Devils, it seems like people are acting like he's a breakout player, but he was always good on Anaheim too. Like he's getting a bigger role.
Yeah, and I mean, especially on the Devils, you have 4 names that are giant.
But,
and Taylor Hall's the newest addition.
I think
I can't remember if he came before.
I think they'll be a playoff
after.
team, but I don't think they're going to be a top playoff team. I think they're going to be a fringe team, and I honestly think they're going to be just like us. I think they're going to be like the Flyers. They're going to struggle for a bit, and then it's going to be fringe fight. I really think they're going to be a fringe team.
Well, I feel like it wasn't this hot, at this magnitude really, where they jumped out 4-0 to start the season, and now they're 4-2. They're up 1-0 currently against the Predators. But we saw last year they were second in the East or second in the Metro. I can't remember which one. And then Snyder went down, and they almost missed the playoffs. Like, had Carolina won, and they had lost like one more game or something like that. Because Carolina blew it at the end of the season last year. We all know that. We all saw it. It's rough, and my dog is scratching at the door.
But like if you want to do a little thing though, is like if I'm talking about the Flyers real quick, like the same thing is like the Flyers need to get their shit together because teams like the Devils, Pittsburgh, Washington, we're dealing pretty. I mean, the Islanders have been pretty good too, but teams like Florida, when they get rolling, who knows what can happen. I really think if the Flyers are going to make a push, they need to start winning more games. We get JVR back, maybe.
That'll help out.
Maybe by Thanksgiving was the original thought, but he's apparently looking like it could be a week sooner, is the report, but who knows. But, I mean, if I'm expecting anything for the Flyers, I just think that when you get him back, it's a huge help, and I think people need to realize right now we are down I think JVR is brought in to potentially be our top goal scorer, hands down. So, without him in the lineup, people are freaking out, but all right, we lost to Colorado. Colorado is a very good team. People are acting like it's the Colorado from a few years ago. Freaking Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen. Like, the team's good. It's simple as that. People are acting like it's the end of the world. But I just think if Flyers, I can't even blame Elliott for everything. I mean,
It's always going to be the Flyers' Achilles heel is goaltending.
Yes, but Elliott's not played too bad. It's the Flyers' defense is atrocious. I think they're one of the worst penalty kill teams in the league. They are absolutely awful this year, and I do not like it defensively. Offense needs to step it up and put some more pucks in the net. It's going to be like a Brizgalov year. Unless we outscore you like by 7-6 or 7-5, like we're not winning.
Yeah.
And that's just simple as that. Notice I didn't mention the Rangers because, again, I think they're going to fizzle out pretty hard.
What, the Rangers play?
Yeah, I think it's going to fizzle out. Like I said, they're going to be like the Phillies. Everybody's going to be all excited and be like, oh, my God, can we be a playoff team or not?
Oh, the Rangers are not even
That's what I'm
close
saying.
to a playoff team. No.
But some people, you could get a little excited about the early play.
I mean, you can only get so excited because they still have a relatively bad losing record, only in the sense that they only have, 3 wins. Defensively, it's like fire and ice. Honestly, there are some super bad holes sometimes, and then other times they play outstanding. Offensively, though, there's a lot of promise, and there's not even like Kravtsov isn't there. You have Elias Anderson in the AHL. Stuff along the lines of that. But they are, and I wish I could find the numbers because no matter what, I can never find where it is. They're out shooting almost every team they play against, whether they win or lose. And that, to me, is a really good sign. David Quinn is shaking things up and benching major players like Kevin Shattenkirk. And he is one example where he gets benched, comes back next game, plays out of his mind, was first star with a nice assist. I don't remember if he had a goal. Or, no, an assist and a goal in the shootout. But then you have like Buchnevich, who was benched and had a mediocre return the game after he came back. But Lundqvist looked better than people think at the age of 36 and is on a, I wouldn't say borderline AHL team, but they're not, the Rangers of, I wouldn't even say 2014 because that's a huge difference. But like the last couple of years. They'll show promise in areas and lacking in others, and 4 years down the road they'll be fine, hopefully. Other than that, just to I want to run through.
I think we are going to add a segment coming up next episode because I haven't told Bobby, but I'm doing them anyway. We're gonna start doing some DraftKings sportsbook line picks.
I like that
locks.
a lot.
I want to do some locks. I mean, I've been getting
well.
really good. Solid $87 the other night in victories. I'm not a degenerate gambler. I'm not throwing down $50 a night. I did $4 bets and I hit on 5 of the 6 and I won $87. So I can't complain. I'm doing really good right now. I have actually not gone a single night going negative. Money wise. So,
knock on wood.
Knock on wood, yes. Tonight I did take the Flyers plus 1.5, so hopefully they don't lose by 2 tonight, but I think they can get it done. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing pretty solid right now, and I cashed out 70 and just left myself $10 again because that's what I put in initially, and that's pretty nice feeling. I don't want to lose it. Just rather keep playing with that 10 and try and make something of it.
Yeah, especially since I got a job and I feel like my hockey knowledge is on par to, perform well. I'm going to start that up, and I'm not against that idea of doing that little segment at all. I think for those who listen, and I know my friend had an interest in it as well to be a part of that.
Yeah, and like my brother JJ, I know he could use some extra cash. Just listen to me. I mean, I even sent it in the Cousins group chat the other day. I said Boston minus 1.5 tonight, solid plus odds for the win. Won like what? I think I sent you the thing. I won like $20. It's a simple $4 bet or something I did. Come on. You got to take these easy ones. San Jose, Nashville. Jones has been Swiss cheese, and Saros isn't. I'm sorry, Saros is not a starter. That game was bound to be over. I took the alternate puck line of 7 goals on the Pittsburgh Edmonton. It was originally over 6. I went over 7. hit nicely on that one. $42 on that one. Wish I did like 9 if I was a little more ballsy, but
Yeah, that was
incredible game.
that was nuts. I really wish I got to watch.
I was watching it. I was watching the end on my phone, and dude, when Crosby scored, I think I sent you guys in the group chat that late.
Yeah.
Crosby just scored a nasty overtime winner.
Yeah, that was he put Ryan Strome in a blender. That
Who was out there for a while though, so it kind of sucks.
And he's not a defenseman. So
And one of the first comments I saw on that was, "I can't believe you did that to McDavid." I'm like, what? It's just a totally different number and size comparison.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't see the whole, take the body thing that I tweeted. I thought that was a pretty solid tweet. But it was a great, setup. Goes in, curls into the corner, gives space, explodes, and then scores on a backhand. I don't know. Did the backhand go under the glove over the pad, or did that go shelf?
No, it went. I'm pretty sure it didn't go shelf, but it went under. I don't think it was necessarily. I don't know exactly where the shot went. All I know is he beat Talbot, and Talbot should have had this save.
That's what I was saying.
But I don't think he did not roof it. I'm almost 100% positive on that.
I mean,
but either way, Crosby's just so strong on the puck. You put him in overtime, the dude just makes shit happen. But
yeah, for first 2 goals of the season in that game.
Yep, first 2 goals. And what did I tell you guys? I said I told you guys in our group chat. I said if you're gonna bet tonight, bet this game, bet the over. And I said Crosby and McDavid are gonna duel it out. McDavid had a goal. I think he ended up with 3 or 4 points on the night though, and Crosby obviously 2 goals. Like you knew it was coming. It was bound to happen. Both teams have been struggling to be consistent this year, and dude, that was such an easy game to pick.
Just a quick run through of points, or league leaders. At this point in the season, it's been 3-4 weeks now. Close to 4 weeks into the season.
Close to a month. Next week will be a month.
Are you surprised at all that goal leaders? And I didn't know it was a tie until just now.
Not at all.
Austin Matthews
and
David Pastrnak are tied.
Not shocked at all. My cousin Ryan drafted his ESPN Fantasy League team. He goes, "Oh, look at my team." He's kind of trying to show me Drew, and I'm like, "Dude, your big stud's Pastrnak." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I took him. I took him as my second round pick because I back to back. I went Drew and Pastrnak, and I'm like,
should have been the other way around.
I was like, should have been the other way around. But I told him straight up, Pasternak's going to be your best player. The dude's freaking nuts. Matthews, we all expected it anyway. I'm kind of shocked about Gabe Landeskog.
He's played phenomenal this year. He didn't have a lackluster season. No, yeah. He didn't have a lackluster season last year.
No, Landeskog's good, but I didn't think he was going to be putting up 8 goals to start the year in 10 games.
Go figure. Ovechkin's top 5. Patty Kane's
a nice little comeback again.
Yeah,
he did this a few years ago. Remember, he had an off season, then he came back and dominated. Yeah. He's about to do it again.
And you got Austin Matthews.
Unfortunately
John
for
Tavares.
you guys tonight, by the way.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think Lundqvist is in that tonight.
God bless.
That'll be rough. He's the only reason why it stays like 2-goal games. He's only been blown out once. And it wasn't, that bad. But
shout out to the Flyers, about to be the worst goal scored against team in the league.
But Bo Horvat has really, not surprised me. I know he's filthy, but he's carrying, carrying Vancouver a little bit right now, especially with Pettersson out, and even I actually don't see Besser. I don't see Besser's name in top 25, really, unless I'm missing it. No, Mika Zibanejad is 26. Cool. And then assist-wise, or points-wise, rather, it's all roughly the same names at this point in the season.
Assists, you're always going to have Backstrom and Voracek on that list somewhere, and Bergeron. They're your typical assist guys every year, it seems like.
Brad Marchand's got 11.
Yeah, that's what happens when you play with David Pastrnak.
Yeah, and you're just going to feed him. And speaking of feeding, oh my God, his assist.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, toe drag around the defenseman and then just sauce it over for a nice little 1-2. I had something else that I want to talk about. I don't know if I sent you. Oh, did I send you the thing that McDavid, or not McDavid, Matthews said he's just been buying random shit just to
Yeah, I
buy
saw
it. He's like, oh, that looks cool. This is what happens when you're, what, 20 years old now and you have $1 million. You just buy shit.
Yeah.
He's like, what's the point in having one of those little light boxes where you could put like little sayings in it? He's like, I don't know. I just have it though. Or my favorite is it's like a little beer glass that has like this. It has a Canadian saying on it. I can't remember what it is. Let's see if I can find it real fast. But it's stuff like that that I enjoy because it's just he's a kid. He's a kid, and I like how he's showing a little bit more personality. It's not very dry. He has a beer glass that says "Oh for sure," and he's like, I like it because a lot of Canadians say that, and I think that's funny.
Solid saying.
Like it's stuff like that, and I really wish that people were. And that, I mean, that's
like they were just talking about this on ESPN too the other day. Hockey players like him, especially someone who's good, they start to show more personalities. It's gonna get hockey to become bigger. So the more personality they get in the game, the more fans are gonna start to grow, and it's not gonna be just your consistent hockey fans. You're gonna actually grow a bigger fan base, and I think that's also cool.
Yeah, because I mean, you see with basketball, and I don't know about so much with baseball because I feel like it's such an old timey sport. Definitely in football where you have players, they're characters. They have like the crazy suits and they're showing up to games in the Lamborghinis. I mean, you see it every now and then with the hockey. Like they had Ryan Getzlav showed up in like his McLaren or something like that. It's little bits that push that. And I think with the young guys and the whole culture that we live in now, it could really, really drive the sport. Farther and farther up into not only their personal stardom as players, especially if they're playing really good on Austin Matthews' perspective or like level, but just in the public's eye, you're gonna get a lot more looks and fans. Your jersey sales are gonna go up, stuff along the lines of that. It's cool. It would be really nice to see people do that to grow the game in more ways than just, look at the sportsmanship. Obviously that plays a huge part in anything, but stuff along the lines of that. But as much as of a ramble as that last 4 or 5 minutes were, I think that's gonna about do it for now. Just lost Josh to the calling of dinner, and we're gonna start doing things more often. I mean, I gotta get my ass home and just do it. As always, for the sign off, follow us on Twitter at Podcast Pigeons. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Podcast Pigeons. And follow us on Instagram at The Podcast Pigeons. We want to start doing more things. I keep saying that every time. I don't do it, but it's going to start. I promise you. I really want to, run with this more. It's so much fun to do, and I love to sit here and ramble for, half an hour. And, I do like when I see on my little stats for the app that people are actually listening. Whether it's the whole episode or not, I know people are giving a little bit of a shit about what we say, and it's pretty fucking cool, and I'm not going to lie. As always, subscribe to us on here. Leave a like, leave a rating, or like, what is this, YouTube? Leave a rating, and let us know how we're doing. I really want to hear it. So we'll hopefully be back next week around the same time, Thursday probably. It'll be up Friday morning. And that just about does it as I'm sitting here, reaching for things to say. So I'll see you next week. Later.